If getting to $100,000 is so hard, why does wealth explode after it? Let me ask you something. Brother, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? Working hard, saving money, being responsible, yet the numbers in your bank account barely move? You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're just in the early stages of wealth and no one warned you how brutal that phase is. Rockefeller would have told you, the first 100,000 is a test of character, not just cash. And here's why. Wealth doesn't grow like a staircase, it grows like an avalanche. It starts small, frustrating, invisible. But once the slope turns, once momentum builds, you either drown in it or ride it to freedom. That turning point? $100,000, not because it's magical, but because it's mechanical. It's math. It's the moment where your money starts working harder than you do and where the system starts favoring you instead of punishing you. But you can't ride that wave if you never make it to the shore. This video is your shoreline. I'm going to show you why $100,000 is the threshold that changes everything and how John D. Rockefeller himself leveraged this secret to build the greatest private fortune in modern history. Not through hype, not through hacks, but through discipline, design, and divine patience. Let's get into it. Section 2. The Wealth Curve Rockefeller Metaphor, 500 words. The first $100,000 is a grind. The next $900,000? Strategy? Imagine I give you two choices. Option 1. I hand you $1 million right now. Option 2. I give you a single penny today and double it every day for 30 days. Which would you pick? Most people hungry for shortcuts take the million, but Rockefeller would have smiled and said, compound interest is God's way of rewarding the disciplined. Why? Because by day 30, that single penny becomes over $5 million. Not from hustle, not from hope, from mathematics and momentum. That's the game most men miss. And that's the exact reason why your net worth explodes after $100,000. Let me break it down. When you start saving, let's say $10,000 a year, and invest it with a 10% annual return. After 1 year, $10,000. After 2 years, $21,000. After 5 years, $61,000. After 8 years, finally, $100,000. 8 long years. But after that, year 12, $200,000. Year 15, $300,000. Year 18, $500,000. Year 22, $1 million. Do you see it? The first $100,000 takes sweat. The rest rides the wave, but most never get there. Not because they can't, but because they don't know the rules. Rockefeller played by dots, so here's the secret. Step 1. Save and invest with holy discipline. Step 2. Use that capital to acquire assets that produce cash flow today, not 30 years from now. Step 3. Once you pass $100,000, focus on leverage real estate, business equity. Systems. Rockefeller didn't become rich selling oil. He became rich controlling what oil had to flow through the refineries, the pipelines, the logistics. He took capital and turned it into control. So once you hit your first $100,000, don't blow it on lifestyle. Don't lock it up for decades. Invest it in leverage in things that multiply your time, your cash, and your control. That's how you go from a hard worker to a wealth builder. Asterisk, asterisk. Your first $100,000 isn't just a number, it's a rite of passage. You hear a lot of talk about becoming a millionaire. Everyone wants 7 figures. But what no one tells you is that your first $100,000 is the real mountain. Not because it's the most money you'll make, but because it's the hardest. Even Charlie Munger said it straight, the first $100,000 is a bitch. But you've got to do it. No excuses. Here's why. That first stretch, it's not driven by investments. It's driven by your will. You're building from pure effort, cutting expenses, increasing income, saying no to luxury, saying yes to purpose. It's discipline in the dark, no rewards yet, no applause, just pressure. But here's the Rockefeller twist. He didn't just save for the sake of saving. He saved with a system. He reinvested every dollar back into control, into infrastructure, into growth, into things that made him hard to replace. That's your model. You don't need to get rich. You need to build a machine that prints freedom. Start by mastering your cash flow. Live on less. Store surplus. Direct it into assets that make money while you sleep. And remember this. Your first $100,000 will feel slow. It might take 5, 6, even 8 years. Most of that growth will be from your labor, not your returns. But once you cross that threshold, you're no longer just working for money. Money starts working for you. That shift from labor to leverage is the gateway to real wealth. So chase $100,000 like it's sacred. Because in a way it is, asterisk. If you're not getting rich, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you've been lied to. Let's get real. If you're watching this, you're probably not some deadbeat. You work. You try. You want better. But still you're stuck. Why? Because the system doesn't reward effort. It rewards understanding. Here are the 3 traps that keep men like you poor. Trap 1. Cut everything. Yes, you need to live below your means. But Rockefeller didn't become the richest man in the world by living cheap. He multiplied his income. He created systems that made his money work harder than he did. So yes, cut waste. But more importantly, grow your capacity. Trap 2. It's too late. Maybe you're 30, 35, 40. You think you missed the boat. That's a lie. Rockefeller started Standard Oil in his 30s. He didn't peak until his 50s. Wealth favors the man who stays in the game. Trap 3. One day I'll start. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. You need to start with what you have right now. Don't have $10,000 to invest? Then build a high-income skill. Launch a micro business. Sell a service. Save $1,000, then $2,000, then $5,000. Stack. Build. Move. You're not stuck because you lack hustle. You're stuck because you don't have a playbook. This is that playbook. So burn those lies. And let's start building with strategy, not stress. Asterisk. Don't just hustle harder, build smarter. If Rockefeller were alive today, he wouldn't be making TikToks or chasing crypto pumps. He'd be doing what he always did, building boring systems that create explosive results. Here's how he'd tell you to hit your first $100,000 in today's world without hype, without burnout. Step 1. Control what you spend before you earn your first million. You have to master your first 1,000. Track every dollar. Cut emotional spending. Kill subscriptions that don't build you. Live like a builder, not a baller. Rockefeller lived modestly his entire life, not because he was cheap, but because he understood that money equals control, and every dollar spent on ego is a dollar you no longer command. Step 2. Raise your income intelligently. Don't save your way to $100,000, you build your way there. Pick one. Offer a skill as a freelancer, copywriting, design, consulting, coding. Build a productized service for a niche, cleaning, delivery, HVAC. Start a simple business that cash flows quickly, laundry pickup, car detailing. Sell info based on your experience, coaching, guides, mini courses. Choose one vehicle. Drive it deep. Focus on cash flow now, not branding later. Most millionaires started with something boring but necessary. Step 3. Turn income into assets. This is where most people mess up. They make $3,000 a month extra and spend $2,000 on things that look rich but don't make them rich. You're going to do the opposite. Rockefeller took profits and bought leverage. Control of refineries, control of railroads, control of banking flow. You are going to buy high cash flow. Digital assets, newsletters, small blogs, content channels, purchase tools that help you deliver faster, not work harder. Partner with others who have audience or capital. Step 4. Build a cash flow system. At this point, your income is up, your expenses are down, and your cash has a job. Now automate it. Every month, push your surplus into investments. Real estate with cash on cash. Return, a business that scales without your face. Index funds if you're too busy to research, but always reallocate once you learn. Step 5. Protect the machine. This part is invisible but powerful. Journal your numbers every week. Review your assets and cash flow monthly. Audit your habits quarterly. Rockefeller was fanatical about bookkeeping. He wanted to know where every drop of oil and every penny was going. Clarity creates acceleration. Do this for 12 to 24 months, and you'll see something magical. You're no longer working for money. You're working for ownership. That's when the first $100,000 shows up, not just in your bank account, but in your confidence. And once you've got that, you move to the next level. The rich don't work harder. They work from a higher place. So you hit your first $100,000. Now what? This is where 95% of people plateau. They get comfortable, safe, stagnant. But Rockefeller would tell you, comfort is the enemy of empires. Here's how to take that $100,000 and 10x it with purpose. Step 1. Turn capital into control. Don't park your $100,000 in a savings account. Use it as leverage to control bigger assets. For example, use $100,000 as a 20% down payment to control $500K in rental property. Buy 5 cash-flowing websites, then use a team to grow and flip them. Invest in operational partners who need capital but lack systems. The goal isn't to spend your capital, it's to stretch it. Step 2. Recycle the equity as your assets grow in value. Refinance them. Pull out the cash. Reinvest. This is how wealth accelerates quietly. It's the exact strategy Rockefeller used when he reinvested profits from one refinery into another without ever risking personal cash. Step 3. Systematize and step back. At $100,000, you worked in the system. At $1 million, you build systems and step above them. This is when you hire help, automate flows, delegate execution, keep strategy. The goal isn't to work harder, it's to work less. With more wisdom, final Rockefeller rule, make money without moving. Build wealth without noise. That's how he lived. That's how empires are built. From this point on, you're not chasing money. You're chasing mastery. Money doesn't make you rich. Structure does. By now, you understand something most people never will. Getting rich isn't about luck. It's about alignment. Alignment between your effort and your outcome, between your income and your investments, between your discipline and your destiny. The rich get richer not because they have secrets, but because they have systems. Don't wake up and ask, "What should I do today?" They wake up and execute a process that's already been proven. And that's what Rockefeller mastered. He didn't rise by being louder. He rose by being tighter. Tighter with his numbers. Tighter with his principles. Tighter with his time. This wasn't a man addicted to motivation. It was a man addicted to structure, and that's what freed him. So here's your shift. Stop trying to get ahead. Start trying to build a system that never falls behind. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the luckiest. You just need to be the most structured, the most disciplined, the most committed. Because once you build your first $100,000 with real principles, your investments start to feed you. Your ideas become assets. Your calendar becomes clear. And most of all, your confidence becomes unshakable. That's what the rich really have. Not just money, but mental clarity and personal alignment. You've been taught that discipline is painful, but discipline isn't pain. It's the pathway. And that's why the first $100,000 matters so much, because it's not just the beginning of your financial growth, it's the beginning of your transformation. So what are you going to do about it? Asterisk, asterisk. You're not broken. You've just been playing without a blueprint. Brother, you were never meant to wander. You were meant to build. To build systems, to build wealth, to build legacy. You don't have to stay stuck, guessing, spinning in circles. Now you have the Rockefeller model, the blueprint, the mindset, the math. Rockefeller didn't have YouTube. You do. So what's your next move? Don't just save this video. Don't just like it and forget. Apply it. Set your $100,000 target. Build your income with focus. Cut distractions. Increase conviction. Invest with wisdom. Multiply with intention. And when it gets hard, remember, the hard part is the proof. You're on the right track. Because success is earned in private before it's celebrated in public. Now share this with someone else who needs to wake up. Another builder, another brother, another Michael out there praying for direction. Because the truth is, it's not about the money. It's about the mission. Let's go build it. Consejos to Rockefeller. Quiet power, real wealth, timeless strategy.